Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? Whose fault for a bad tattoo? Whose fault? Is it fault of the client, of the society, of the tattoo artist, of the tattoo shop, of the tattoo manager, tattoo shop manager, of the whatever? Whose fault? Well, let's forget about the historic aspect that, well, we should talk about that, but I will talk about that in another video. We should start from 350 after Christ. Do you have the time? No. Let's cut it. Shrink it down. For over 1,300 years, we were used to think about tattoos as mark of shame. And until, I don't know, probably a few decades ago, it was still the same way. Just think about in New York in 1996, the tattoos were still illegal. In Oregon, I think, I don't know, Oregon, no, not Oregon, there is another state that it's legal only from about 8 years or something like that. I saw on TV, something like that. Anyway, so now everybody wants a tattoo. So what was considered as a mark of shame just a few years ago, a few decades ago, right now is not anymore considered a mark of shame. But anyway, what was a mark of shame 30 or 40 or 50 years ago, now it's common, but the fact that it's common, it doesn't make it good. So, of course, there are a lot of crappy artists, but there are amazing tattoo artists, good tattoo artists, average, bad tattoo artists, and people that should not even touch the tattoo machine with a 3-meter stick. But anyway, whose fault is that? The fault is, of course, these people that are self-taught. They don't compare their work with a real great tattoo artist, and not even artists, just artists, to see if they are good enough and how to improve and whatever. They are making the money, and so who cares about that? So yeah, many of them are working this way. So yeah, it's a little bit their fault. But anyway, I traveled the world. In every place where I went, basically to be an hairdresser, you have to study about 3 years and a few years to get a job. To be a tattoo artist, you just need a license. Sometimes you need 10 hours class or 20 hours class to get a license, and that's all. Yesterday you were doing, I don't know, any kind of job. You never draw anything, you don't know anything about art, but well, you get the license and you can open the shop. So whose fault is that? The system, the culture, the tattoo artist, and whatever. And of course, these people, many of these people are bad, unfortunately, like in any profession. Lawyers, architects, plumbers, mechanics, and whatever. Bad people are everywhere, not just in the tattoo industry, of course. Yeah, I know there are people that, in my opinion, we should pay them just to stay home. I will buy you a PlayStation. I will pay for the PlayStation. I will pay for your food, for your house, but please stay home. There are a lot of people around that we should pay them to stay home, because as soon as they get out of their houses and they get in any kind of job, they just make a mess of about everything. So I think we should pay them to stay home. Anyway, apart of that, sorry about being off topic. So whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? Well, the fault is about a little bit here, a little bit that. We know nothing is really black and white, but anyway, who went there to this bad guy that did this bad tattoo and whatever? Who went there asking for a tattoo without looking at the portfolio? And maybe this guy told you, I'm great doing portraits. Yeah, did you look at his portfolio? There were at least 4 or 5 great portraits that you could see and think, wow, this is really good doing portraits. Or, I don't know, any other style that the guy told, well, I'm great doing that. Okay, show me your portfolio. And then when you look at the portfolio, think about that, especially also for your design. Would I frame these drawings, this design, this piece of art and hang it on the best wall of my house? I would do that. If you would do that, probably you're in the right place. If you wouldn't do that, probably that is the wrong guy. Because at the end of the day, who went there, who get the shit on his skin, and who paid for the skin? It's you. It's like when you go to get a pair of shoes. Yeah, you can go around complaining about the fact that the guy at the shoe store was an asshole, that the shoes are too small, that are uncomfortable and whatever. Yeah, maybe it's true, but who was there? Who wear the shoes and who paid for that shoes? So also because sometimes people think about a tattoo like a sticker, like a decoration for a business card or for something like that. No, you should think about your tattoo as a piece of art, something that is flowing with the body, and also think about what will you do later. And maybe right now you just want to do the forearm, but maybe the next you will like to get something on your arm and something like that. So think about the future. Think about what would you like to have after that, so that the design can go accordingly with your body, that flows with your body, and not about a little sticker like, I don't know, a business card or a greetings card or whatever. It's not just a decoration, it's a project of life. It's something that will stay on your body forever. I would stress enough about that. Maybe that tattoo artist is not even so bad, but maybe is even good. But you went there with a crappy design, with a crappy request, with something, and why he didn't say no? Maybe it just started and he has to pay bills, and he doesn't want to disappoint you, and so he's thinking, what I have to do? Well, I have to pay bills, I have to eat, this guy wants this, and maybe if I say no, he will be disappointed. And he will talk shit about me, and I cannot afford that because I just opened my shop and so on. And maybe he does this crappy tattoo for you. So at the end of the day, whose fault is that? There is a lot to talk about that, but in another video, because this one was already quite long.